In a grey city, there lived an old married couple. The man was very ill and bedridden, for the 3rd year now. All this time his wife was by his side, taking care of him. But this summer she needed to visit her sister. He needed someone to stay with him. It was a young girl about 20 years old named Lena, who agreed to look after him. After explaining everything that needed to be done and kissing her husband, the woman left the house. She was supposed to be away for 4 days. However, there was one strange instruction. Under no circumstances should the bandages on his left hand be changed. She promised to change them herself as soon as she returned in a couple of days. For the first few days everything was fine. The old man looked quite well. Thin, he said nothing. His eyes almost always looked at the ceiling. He was covered with some kind of blue blanket. The bandaged hand, sometimes it behaved strangely, twitching as if it had a life of its own. She also discovered a strange find. When she pulled the pot out from under the bed, she saw a massive chain attached to the bed. On the 3rd day, she noticed that the bandages on the hand were darkening and getting stained, but she remembered that the woman had strictly forbidden unwrapping his hand. The bandages on it were already quite dirty, with some stains appearing, and they urgently needed to be changed, no matter what that strange woman said. The girl reached for the bandages with her hand. Suddenly she saw the old man looking at her. His eyes were wide open and he was shaking his head negatively. She decided to wait until he fell asleep, and then rebandage his hand. She waited until midnight and went to the room on the 2nd floor where the old man lay. He must be asleep by now. Quietly, after unwrapping the bandages on his hand, she realized she hadn't brought new ones. The hand was in terrible condition, twisted, covered in sores, and emitting a dreadful stench. At that moment, the old man suddenly woke up, and she saw the horror in his eyes. He tried to say something to her, but couldn't. The girl simply went to the kitchen for bandages, while he watched her go, making strange noises and shaking his head. When she returned, she saw a horrifying scene. The hand she had freed from the bandages had strangled the poor old man. "4 days had passed since the woman had left her husband under the care of a nanny. She was returning in a hurry because she was very worried, lest that young girl decide to change the bandages on that cursed hand. But it was too late.